Welcome to the Queer Confidence Podcast, the podcast to help you become your most confident queer self. I'm your host, he, she, they, Coach Alex Ray, and I haven't always been this confident. In fact, I used to be super insecure. And through this show, I want to share with you what's worked for me, my clients, and my guests so that you can become more confident. Hey, unicorns! How are you? I just want to say I am honored to be in your ears today. I'm so honored. This is just wild. You know, do you ever think about that? Do you ever stop and think like, holy shit, the internet is an incredible thing that we are able to communicate with humans all across the freaking planet. What? And for free. Well, this isn't free to me. It's free to you. It costs money to host a podcast, but hey, it is worth every penny. I love being able to share this information with you and to help you. And especially love just helping our whole queer community all over the planet become more empowered, more loving, more joy-filled, more confident. It truly is amazing. I love getting to be here with you. So thank you. You ready to talk about inner child labor? Huh? What in the hell is that? What is he talking about? So if you have been following me on Instagram, you've seen some posts over the last few weeks as I've been maybe over the last month or so, as I've been speaking about this topic. It's something that I noticed in myself first, and then realized, oh my God, this is what my clients do too. And it is tearing apart our confidence. So, inner child labor, what the hell is it? It is this concept that your inner adult is putting your inner child to work for them. And it's in ways that are not appropriate for your child to be laboring. Your inner child's job is not to look out for your needs, to take care of your finances, to run your business, to run your relationships. No. And I wonder for us as a community if, because many of us have experienced childhood trauma in one form or another, that collective sort of lack of a true safe childhood where we really got to be children has affected us, right? Because now as an adult, we're like, oh, inner child, you gotta be grown up. You gotta be mature. It's not safe for you to just play and have fun and experiment and be free. No, we need some constraints. We need some things delivered. Like, you gotta be on point for us. There's also that sense too in coming out where if you did not come out until later in your teen years, or perhaps your 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s or 80s or 90s, or I don't know, maybe you're 100, coming out at 100. There is a sense that you do restart life in a way when you come out, because before you came out, you always had to kind of pretend, and you always had to kind of put on this face, right? This way of acting that really wasn't actually being yourself. And so you didn't really, even if you had the most wonderful and supportive parents, but you weren't allowing yourself to be fully authentic and fully out and fully a homosexual, or wherever you are in the queer community, there is just this sense that like you didn't really get to fully play. You didn't really fully get to be a child, did you? You had to kind of grow up quick. Yeah. So I want to point something out real quick. This is ADD moment, y'all. But this is funny because I wanted to introduce this at the very beginning of the podcast and I didn't. I kind of forgot. So here you go. I want you to know that through this podcast episode, I am literally practicing exactly this concept that I'm going to teach you now about the inner child labor. Because I did not prepare much for this episode at all. As far as writing notes or anything for myself. I literally have 2 sentences written for myself. And then I was like, ugh, I'm stuck. What else am I going to write? And then I decided I'm going to let it flow naturally. And that's what I'm going to offer to you as a solution today for your inner child labor. When you notice that you are giving adult responsibilities to your inner child, to just go, hey, I trust you, inner child, to just make the most fabulous, amazing, creative art. And I don't need to control it. I don't need to control the timeline you deliver it to me on. I don't need to control how you deliver it to me. Just do whatever you want. I love you. So now that I've jumped ahead to the solution and told you that I'm literally doing this right now as I speak into your ears, let's rewind and just describe a little more, because now you know the reason why we start inner child labor. It's because you never really truly got to have a full playful childhood, so you might not even know what that is or what that would look like or what that would feel like. So now let's look at the symptom, though, that's showing up. If you are a creative, whether that's for work or just for play, and you're finding yourself stuck and not really coming up with the ideas, and you're trying to force it and it's just really not coming to you, what is happening is you are forcing inner child labor, or as I like to call it, an inner child sweatshop. That's illegal, right? We don't have kids working in a sweatshop anymore. Or, well, I guess all sweatshops are illegal, right? But we don't put children to work anymore. It's not legal. And it's not legal for a good reason, because kids should really be able to have the opportunity to play and experiment and learn about life through experience. And the more unfettered and boxed in that play can be, the easier it is for your child to learn. Now, when I say your child, I mean literally if you had a kid, or you as a kid, or your inner child that is still with you and always will be with you and lives inside you. The more that they have the opportunity to just run wild and free and play and have experiences and learn and build from those experiences, the more they will thrive. So I see this so much in creativity, because your inner child is really the root of your creativity. They are responsible for the creative side of you. It's play, right? Art is play. And art does not just have to be a painting. It can be music. It could be writing. It could be doing any kind of online business where you are posting to social media for it. It could be podcasting. And this can also be just in how you interact with your friends. So not even business related, not even what you might think of as creativity related, but the way in which you show up with your friends in relationships. There's a certain element to the relationship that is play, is fun, is allowing you to just be yourself and see what works and what doesn't work, and not to judge any of it, but to just be like, oh, there it is. Learn something there. And your inner child is the creative side of you. They're the playful one. They're the one that helps you have the thrills out of life that you love and crave. And so how I noticed this inner child labor, this inner child sweatshop showing up in my life was with the content that I was writing for Instagram, with the podcasts I was recording for you all. I was finding myself really like frustrated when I didn't have an idea, when I didn't have any advice to give, when I didn't have sort of a concept to explain, or when I was trying to flesh out a concept and I was like, ugh, I don't know what to do here. And anytime you notice that happening, or in relationships, right? Anytime it's play that you want to be able to show up with more freedom and play, what's happened is your inner child is like, dude, I do not trust you to be okay with whatever I produce. Because in the past, you have proved to me over and over and over again that when I get creative, when I put something out there for you to see, you start bashing it, you start judging it, you tell me it's not good enough, you tell me to go back to the drawing board and redo it and to produce harder, better, faster, stronger. So what that looked like for me was I would write a post and I would put so much pressure on the post to be, this is the post, this is the one, and people need to like this. Wait, what? The confidence coach still has insecurity sometimes showing up in his life? What? Wait, he's still human? Oh my God. Okay. Yes, it's true. And so then I would put the post out there, and then either like no one would really care, like no one would really comment on it, no one would really seem to interact with it, they wouldn't like it, they wouldn't say, like, it was like, oh, that was kind of a flop, like it didn't relate to, no one related to it. And then I'd be like, oh, it wasn't good enough, right? Inner adult is going back to inner child, like, it's not good enough, you better do better next time. And so what's happening here, as I've told you before, insecurity is when you outsource your security. Insecurity is outsourcing your security. What's happening in that example is I was outsourcing my security to all of y'all. Now that is not very helpful, right? Because what I was doing was then allowing you all to dictate how I felt, and an Instagram algorithm to dictate how I got to feel and how I was going to talk to my inner child. That is so stupid. That is so mean. That is not being an adult who has his own back. That is forcing child labor and then deciding that everyone else gets to decide how I feel about it. And then I will go back and, based on that feedback, either shame or encourage my inner child. It's insecurity because I am not deciding ahead of time that no matter how other people act, I know how I will. I know how I will respond. I will respond in love to my inner child. I will only respond with gratitude and joy and encouragement to him. I will talk to him as if he is the most fabulous, amazing, fucking iconic artist in the entire world. That post was just purely amazing, and it's totally fine if no one else got it. No one else understood it. It didn't resonate with them. Whatever. It's freaking incredible to me. Think about it like a parent that wants to hang up their child's artwork on the fridge, right? Like, look at this artwork that my kid did. It's finger paint. It's honestly, to all the adults, hideous. But to me, as the parent, it's absolutely stunning. I love what this painting represents. It represents my child just being creative and uninhibited, free and empowered, curious and authentic. I love this art. I am hanging this on my fridge for everyone to see. Or like beaded necklaces. When I was a kid, we used to do these like beaded necklaces with some really big like wooden beads, and honestly they were like kind of ugly. Okay, they weren't kind of ugly. They were really ugly. They were like not symmetrical at all, and they just were clunky as hell, and they looked ridiculous, and there was no pattern. It was just like a bunch of freaking janky ass, uncoordinated, unmatched beads on a necklace that probably like weighed too much to be comfortable around your neck. And I would make them, my brother and sister would make them too, and our mom would wear them in public. She would wear the big old janky necklace in public. That's amazing, y'all. I want you to think about how you can be doing that for your inner child. Whether that means you create art and share it in public in anything that art means to you, right? That can be social media posts, writing, audio, visuals, whatever. It can even be in how you dress. It can be like, here is exactly what I feel like wearing today. I have no clue why, but my inner child is like, I want to put that on. That feels cute. That feels fun. That feels artistic. That feels free. That feels like me. That feels like me today. Put that on me. I'm going to wear that. Wear it in public with pride. Be like, yeah, my inner child put this together. I don't care if y'all think it looks good. Maybe it doesn't even match. I don't know. It makes a fucking statement, though. It makes a statement. You know why? Because when you are willing to just show up and be like, yeah, I put this on. I have my back. Your inner child starts feeling so much more trust for you. And it's like, wait, what? Who is this confident adult that takes ownership for everything and doesn't come back to me to judge me? What? This is amazing. You mean I really can kind of like create whatever art I want for you, adult, and you're gonna share it, and you're gonna love it, and you're gonna celebrate it? Oh my God. I'm free. I can be a kid again. That is what your inner child is saying. I can be a kid again. And the consequence of that, or the result of that, consequence sounds kind of negative, but the result of that is that you're going to have so much ease around creating. And you're going to have so much ease around showing up. Now, do not expect this to be like easy to do, right? It creates ease, but the first time it's not easy to do because you're so used to like showing up in a polished, perfectionistic, idealistic way. And now you're going to start showing up as like a freaking work of art. And other people are going to have thoughts. By the way, spoiler alert, they have had thoughts the entire freaking time. In the past, though, you spent a lot of effort trying to control them. And guess what? You still felt insecure, right? Now, you are deciding, oh, they get to have all the thoughts. Why? Why is it safe for them to have all the thoughts now? Because you aren't going to go be a judgmental asshole to your inner child. You're not going to have this sweatshop anymore. No, there's no forced child labor. There's no forcing them to show up and create for you in the way that like you as an adult think is most appropriate or best. It's like, nope, here we go. Let's do it. Let's show up however you want. What this does is it has a compounding effect because now your inner child is going to trust you, and therefore they're going to start producing more, faster, and with more ease, more fun, more joy, more playfulness, more like a child. And then your inner adult is going to be like, wow, thank you so much. I so appreciate this. Why have I been trying to force you for so long? You can actually produce so much when I stop forcing it. So your child is going to create more. Your inner adult is going to be pleased. Your inner child is going to produce even more. Your inner adult is going to be pleased. And all the while, you're going to practice having your own back by allowing this process to be a little bit uncomfortable and a little bit scary. But when you wake up and you're like, hey, that's the outfit I want to put on today, you're going to put it on. And then you're going to decide to go out and let people have all the thoughts and say, no matter what, I'm committed to not shaming myself. I'm proud of this. Even if all you're proud of today is just the fact that you're learning to be proud of yourself. Like, I'm proud of me for trying this out. I listened to this podcast from Coach Alex Ray, and he said, put on the thing that I thought was ridiculous. I went out and other people kind of stared at me, and I didn't die. I did it. I'm learning to have my own back. I'm kind of proud of me for learning to have my own back. That's it, my friend. That is how we end the inner child labor and how we really begin having our inner child's back with anything that they create. I'm so excited for you. I'm so thrilled for you for what's to come. You're going to have so much more ease. Things are going to start happening more naturally. Things are going to take less time. You're going to feel less pressure to show up in the world and in conversations and how you relate to people. You're going to feel more authentic. You're going to feel more like you. You're going to feel more empowered. You're going to feel confident. And here's the really fun thing. Your inner child getting to show up in that way is going to just create this uniqueness about you that people are going to be like, I don't know what it is about them, but for some reason they are like fully themselves, like Lady Gaga status, like Beyonce status. Like, they are so uniquely themselves. What did you do with my friend? Because they were kind of like hiding. I don't know where they are. And this version of you is pretty damn cool because look, I see you for who you are. It's gonna be freaking amazing. This is so cool. All right, there you go. I don't even know that I used these two sentences that I wrote down, but why don't I just share them real quick with you? Okay, the first sentence I wrote down was judgment about creating. Yeah, okay, we talked about that. Judgment about creating. The second sentence was follow like I follow Gideon on walks. Yeah, okay. So one more metaphor if you want it for how to follow your inner child a little more is when I go on walks with Gideon, sometimes I'm in my head about, okay, I want this walk to be short. I don't have time. Pressure. I got to get back. I got to do work. Blah, 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 blah. A very adult, boring, blech, yuck. And Gideon wants to go for a walk longer, right? And so what I will allow myself to do and him to do now is if I'm directing him back and we haven't really walked that far and then he like tugs, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on, Alex. What if we just follow? What if we allow Gideon, the dog, to decide how long we want to walk for today? Is it really that big of a deal? Now, if I have an appointment to get back for, yeah, I'm going to get back because I want to be respectful of that person's time and my time and this agreed upon appointment time, right? I want to do that. But if it's just like, I don't know, I got to go back and like record a podcast like I did. Funny enough, the reason I thought of this was because right before recording, we went on a walk and this exact thing happened. Just went with him. He like tugged and I was like, oh, I want to get back for that podcast. And he was like, no, I want to go on a walk longer. And I said, you know what? You're right. Let's practice what we're preaching in this podcast and let's just go. Let's go for the walk. Let's let you decide how long it's going to take. It's really not that big of a deal for me to get back right now. So the same thing to your inner child. Okay, inner child, let's do what you want to do. It doesn't make all that much sense to me as the adult, but you know what? It's not that big a deal. It really is not. I'll let you have this one. We'll take as long as we need, or we'll do whatever you need to do. We'll do whatever you want to do, inner child. You lead, I'll follow. It's fine. Let's go. Okay, my friends. That's it for real this time. So good. Look at how helpful that was. And what did I do? I practiced exactly what I preached on this episode. I let my inner child just lead. That was fun. So much easier. Took so much less time than prepping a bazillion piles of notes. Have a phenomenal day, you confident queer. And please share this episode with somebody, because I know this blew your mind. I know it helped you. Go share with them too. Help them out. Let's get this knowledge into as many queer people, into their minds. Let's get this into as many queer people's minds, ears, hands, whatever, across the planet. Let's help our queer community change our narrative from surviving to thriving with confidence and love. Have a beautiful day, unicorn. I'll talk with you soon. If you enjoyed this episode, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend so they too can become more confident. You can also help more people find the show by leaving a 5-star review wherever you listen. And if you want to become a more confident queer with support from yours truly, head to coachalexray.com or use the link down in the show notes. I'm looking forward to working with you.